In this video, we will learn about optical fibers. We have seen the optical fibers. Maybe in Diwali time, you might have seen some fibers like this, and the light is coming out of these fibers with different colors. So these are the kind of optical fibers. They are basically plastic optical fibers. So the basic concept is to make this light travel through the optical fiber, and on what basis it is happening is very simple, which we already know is the Snell's law. So let us revisit this Snell's law. We'll just take a brief introduction to the Snell's law, and then we'll go to the optical fiber system. So let us consider this material as a glass which has the refractive index as 1.5. Whenever we say the refractive index of glass is 1.5, that means the refractive index of glass with respect to air. Okay? That is the hidden meaning. And since we already have this air medium as a common medium, we normally do not write this refractive index of glass with respect to air. But here I am taking it deliberately. And then I will just draw a normal here, which is perpendicular to the surface. Now let us consider a light is incident from, say, at an angle 60 degree to the surface. Remember, this is to the surface. So this will be the angle of incidence, and the angle of incidence is now 30 degree. I. Now we know, according to Snell's law, the angle of refraction will be slightly less than this, and we can have the light which will bend towards the normal. It is going towards the normal. So R is less than I, and we know the refractive index mu is equal to the sin I divided by sin R. And since mu is greater than 1, here it is 1.5, and obviously this gives that sin I is greater than sin R, and therefore I is greater than R. That is quite easy to prove. But what will happen if we take the opposite position? Opposite means, for example, if we have the light in the glass. So let us consider a glass plate here. Suppose this is a glass plate, and the light is coming out of this glass plate. Like this is a glass plate, and we have the light inside this glass plate. Again, we will draw the normal here. So let us consider this is a normal. I will just show with different color. And now again we take a similar example. For example, if I consider, say, 60 degree, of course this angle is with respect to the surface, so this will be 30 degree. So this is the angle of incidence, which is from the air. This is from air. Okay? This is air, and this is medium. So the light is incident from the air to the medium. This is medium, and then it will come out in the air. Now as we know that the angle will be lesser than this, so it will move towards the normal. Okay, let me show slightly exaggerated. You can just find out exact angle, but I'm more interested in seeing that the light is moving towards, it is leaning towards the normal. So the angle R is less. Now what will happen if the light is coming out of the glass medium to the air? Here again we'll draw a normal at this position, and let me use the same color just like previous, and again we'll use the same formula, like mu equal to sin I divided by sin R. Now in this case what is happening is, now this is becoming the angle of incidence. Say I am showing with green color. Okay, and now the mu is the refractive index, which is which is the refractive index of air with respect to glass. And we know from previous classes that this is exactly inverse of the refractive index of glass with respect to the air, and therefore this will be 1 divided by 1.5, right? So it is less than 1. Now if this is less than 1, that means sin I is less than sin R, and therefore I must be less than R, or I can write R is greater than I. Now this is the reverse condition, exactly opposite to that of when it goes from air to medium. So here the R, the refractive index coming out of this, refractive angle of refraction coming out of this will be more. In fact, it is exactly the same as that of this. Okay, here. Let me draw again with different color so that you can understand. This is a refracted ray, and now the angle is more. So this is R. This I and R. This is one pair and this is another pair. Okay, don't get confused. Or we can write this as I1 R1, and this is say I2 R2. Okay. So R1 and R2 are different. So this R2 corresponds to this. R is more than I. Now what will happen if we increase this the angle of incidence? For example, again we will take the same situation. We have a glass plate. Okay. I will just draw the surface, and above surface is suppose glass, and the below surface is air, and the light is incident from glass to the air. So let us consider this. Again we will take the typical example, 60 degree. Obviously if you talk about this, then the light will move away from the normal when it comes from glass to the air. Okay. So here you can see this is glass and this is air. This angle was 30 degree, the angle of incidence I. And now if I want to draw what is the light, that direction of light that is coming out, then it will be slightly, angle will be more. I will just exaggerate it to 50 degree, right? So this R is more than I. Now if I keep on increasing the angle like this, what will happen? Obviously this angle will also increase, and there will be a situation where the light will travel parallel to the surface. Okay. Now I am trying to draw the refracted light first, and then I will go for the incident. So this is refracted. So it is moving along the surface of this glass and air. Okay. So what will be the angle at that time? So let us consider here, suppose we have the equation sin I divided by sin R equal to mu, and in this case this mu is say refractive index of air with respect to glass. Okay. Now we have, suppose the angle I we don't know, but the angle of refraction now in this case is 90 degree, right? And therefore what I can write is sin I will be equal to sin R into refractive index of air with respect to glass, and that is equal to sin R is sin 90 degree and sin 90 is 1, that we know, and refractive index of this is uh, refractive index of glass with respect to air. Now we can calculate this. For example, this is say sin 90 is 1 and this is 1 divided by 1.5, and that will be equal to this will be 2 by 3, that is equal to 0.67. Now you can just find out what is the angle of incidence for this particular value of sin I, and that will be around 57 or 58 degree. Okay. Let us consider this is around 60 degree. So if we have the angle 60 degree here, let me draw this now. Now remember, this is angle of incidence 60 degree, so this angle with surface will be 30 degree. We are just approximating. We will not take the exact value. It is just for our understanding. So this is the angle of, say, this is the angle, particular angle, which we will call as theta c. And why we are saying is theta c? Because this angle is the critical angle at which the angle of refraction is 90 degree. Now what will happen if we make angle more than theta c? Now this is a bit logic. So let me take the angle as say 70 degree, for example. So what will happen if we take the angle as 70 degree? Now this is slightly more than the critical angle. Now what will happen that this refracted ray will be refracted inside the glass medium. It will be something like this. It may be some number, we don't know right now, but obviously it is not the simple reflection. Okay. And now we are measuring the angle like this. Now this angle is 90 degree plus something, say alpha. Okay. Now remember that this angle is not same as that of this angle. Okay. So when the angle of incidence is more than critical angle, we get the angle more than 90 degree as the refraction angle. Refraction, not reflection. This is not reflection. But for some reason, it is called as total internal reflection. So it is similar to the reflection, but it is not the reflection. So it is called as total internal reflection. Now somehow if we extend this glass, what is the use of all these things? Let us see here. Somehow if we extend this glass, and suppose this is the glass plate, let me take here. This is a glass surface, so that this light will get extended in this direction, and again if the angle of incidence is such that now it will get again total internal reflection. It will not go to air medium, but it will get confined to the glass medium. Again we can have the another surface of this glass material. Like this here, and we can extend this glass material to a longer distance, and now we can have, suppose this is the reflection, total internal reflection, like this, then it get again total internal reflection, it suffers total internal reflection say at some angle, and now you can see that with the help of Snell's law, simple calculation, we can see that the light is traveling through the glass medium. It is not uh, going to the air medium. Of course, this is not so easy. Instead of air, we will have to use some another medium. So what we can do is, instead of air, let us consider there is another medium here, and which is called as clad. Let me use some different color. It is also made up of glass, but the refractive index of this clad is different than the inner medium, which is called as pore. And this is the structure of, say, optical fiber. So this inner material is called as pore, and this is called as clad. And remember that this is not a two-dimensional structure, it is three-dimensional structure, and therefore we will have this cylindrical structure like this. So inner cylinder will be core, the outer cylinder will be clad instead of air, and the refractive index of this clad is denoted by N2, and the refractive index of core is denoted by N1. As we know that the refractive index of glass was more than air, similarly the refractive index of core is always more than the clad. Okay. But there is a slight difference between these two refractive indices as compared to the refractive index of glass and air. There is a large difference. Glass refractive index is 1.5, whereas air is 1. In case of clad and core, it is something like 1.5 and 1.48. We can just take 1.52 and 1.5. Something like pairs we can create, or 1.5 and 1.48. So this way you can understand how the total internal reflection is taking place. Okay. In next video, we'll learn how we can calculate the outer angle, where we'll try to find out the angle of acceptance, so that the light will travel like this. And if the angle is more than acceptance angle, it will go into the clad and then it will get lost. Okay.